This was one of the bigger protests at Google's global headquarters in California. But they started much earlier on the other side of the globe, from Singapore, Zurich, Dublin, and London to North America.
Support women and to protest the way that this company has handled sexual harassment cases.
People are just, becoming more strong and more united.
I think social responsibility is really important this time for tech companies.
Time's up.
Google employees are calling for some key changes, including a better process for reporting sexual misconduct, public disclosure of harassment cases, and a commitment to end pay inequity. The worldwide walkout included Google's Toronto employees, and the CBC's Ron Charles was at their protest.
The Google workers quietly filed out of the tech giant's main Canadian office into a light drizzle. Just over 100 Googlers, about a quarter of the Toronto workforce, took part in the walkout. They headed to a nearby park for a subdued rally to talk about why they walked out.
For me, it's because I've had to hear about and watch so many people leave the company after experiencing mistreatment and harassment, and I've seen women be unable to get promotion until they wither and leave.
Today's worldwide Google walkouts are the latest and most dramatic display of dissatisfaction at how tech companies deal with harassment and discrimination. Huda Idris is founder and CEO of a tech startup for personal health data. Before that, she worked at 3 different tech companies where she saw the way so many women in the industry are harassed and discriminated against.
Every time it happens to you, you read about them, you read about these stories. You never think it will happen to you. So every time I've witnessed it, or I've been around it, or I've been, subject to it, I've always thought, whoa, didn't think it would happen to me. And it's always a little bit, you're always a little taken aback. And then it's difficult to try to figure out what you should do next.
For Googlers, this was next.
She seemed eager, trying to jump in to offer her say, but she was invisible.
Google employees in Toronto refused to give their names or do recorded interviews. Still, the mass walkout would be considered an extraordinary action by employees at any large company. Its significance was not lost on the participants.
This is a really huge moment, and we should all be proud and excited to be right in the middle of it. But if this is going to matter, this has to be the beginning, not the end.
It isn't clear what the employee's next step might be. It's now up to Google management to hit reply. Ron Charles, CBC News, Toronto.